In part 1, we saw why 90% of real estate wealth fails by generation 3. 3 structural failures, not bad properties, bad architecture. Personal ownership means probate traps. Illiquid equity means you're forced to sell when opportunity strikes. Estate tax every generation, that means dissolution by generation 3. But today, we're going to talk about how institutions escape the accumulation trap. The structures that skip probate, that skip estate tax, and that last for multiple generations. This is part 2 of 4. The truth is, I don't teach financial planning. I teach institutional architecture. How to escape the accumulation trap and how to rebuild your foundation like the families and endowments who've preserved wealth for 6+ generations. I've reverse engineered the models that permanent capital institutions created, not to sell you a product, but to show you how the architecture works that they use. Never liquidate, never dissolve, never surrender control. The structure that would protect your deals, 324 years of institutional continuity. The Singapore Government Investment Corporation manages approximately $800 billion. Not speculation, permanent capital architecture. So let's break down exactly how it works. Ownership creates liability. Control creates legacy. Here's the structural difference that they hope you never see. According to the retail structure, aka the trap, you have individual or LLC ownership, assets in personal estate, probate upon death, estate tax at each generation, forced liquidation, wealth dissolved by generation 3. Then you have the institutional structure, aka the exit, dynasty trust ownership, assets outside personal estate, no probate, estate tax skipped, never forced to sell. Wealth compounds across multiple generations. Same properties, opposite outcomes by design. Here's how dynasty trusts actually work. Feature number 1, generation skipping design. The trust is structured so that wealth skips over each generation's estate. Your kids benefit from the trust, but never own the assets. When they die, nothing is in their estate to tax. Then their kids benefit the same way. This avoids estate tax at every generational transition, not by staying under exemption limits, but by removing assets from their estate calculations entirely. In legal terms, generation skipping design. The trust holds the assets. Beneficiaries receive distributions, but never own. When one generation dies, nothing passes through probate or estate tax. The next generation simply steps into the beneficiary roles. This structure can preserve wealth for 12+ generations, over 360 years at 30 years per generation. The Rockefeller family office operates exactly this way. David Rockefeller's generation never owned the family assets. They benefited from them. They controlled investment decisions, but they didn't own them personally. When David died in 2017, zero estate inclusion from family trust assets. His children stepped into beneficiary and trustee roles. No probate, no forced sales, no wealth division. The Vanderbilts asked courts to divide their wealth. The Rockefellers told their wealth to never divide. Feature number 2, professional trustee. Wealthy families appoint corporate trustees, banks, trust companies, family office entities. This isn't about not trusting family. It's about institutional continuity. A corporate trustee survives beyond any individual lifespan. It also provides professional management and it enforces trust provisions objectively and, critically, keeps assets outside your personal estate, which is required for estate tax exclusion. You can serve as co-trustee or investment advisor. You still control investment decisions, but you don't legally own the assets personally. The Yale Endowment uses this exact structure. The Yale Investments Office manages the $44.1 billion portfolio in-house, with oversight from Yale's investment committee. No individual owns the assets. Professional institutional management ensures continuity. That's why it survived 324 years through wars, depressions, and market crashes. Institutional continuity through perpetual structure. Feature number 3, spendthrift protections. Dynasty trusts include spendthrift clauses. This means beneficiaries cannot pledge trust assets as collateral. Creditors can't seize trust assets. Divorce settlements can't touch trust assets. Let me show you what this looks like in practice. Your son marries. 10 years later, God forbid, divorce. He's accumulated $15 million in personal assets during his marriage. Those, community property, divided 50-50. But the $20 million real estate portfolio in the family trust, protected, because he never owned it. He's a beneficiary, not an owner. The trust provisions prevent division. His ex-spouse gets nothing from the trust. Compare that to direct inheritance. If your son inherited those properties personally, they're community property in most states. Divorce splits them. The family empire gets divided. Sold, destroyed. The Walton family from Walmart operates this exact same way. Family trusts hold a majority of a company's stock. Beneficiaries receive dividends, but they can't sell or pledge the underlying shares. That's how they've maintained control for 3 generations, despite dozens of marriages, divorces, and disputes. The structure protects the wealth, not the family dynamics. Family drama can't destroy what family members don't own. Feature number 4, the rule against perpetuities workaround. In the past, trusts couldn't last forever. State laws enforced the rules against perpetuities. Trusts had to terminate within 21 years of the last beneficiary's death. Naturally, wealthy families lobbied for change. So today, 19 states allow perpetual dynasty trusts. Delaware, South Dakota, Nevada, Alaska, Wyoming. You can establish a dynasty trust that legally lasts forever. It never terminates, it never divides, and it's never forced to liquidate. That's why family offices domicile trusts in these states, not for tax benefits, but for perpetual structure. The Pritzker family from Hyatt Hotels uses South Dakota dynasty trusts. Those were established in the 1980s, and they're still operating today, and they will operate for the next 300 plus years. No estate tax, no forced sales, no dissolution. And your CPA probably didn't mention this option because retail planning assumes 30-year horizons. Institutional planning assumes 300-year horizons. The Rockefellers didn't get lucky. They got structured. Same with Yale, same with Singapore GIC, same with every institution that's survived multiple generations. This is part 2 of 4. Part 3 shows you how institutions access liquidity without ever selling assets. The permanent capital model that lets you borrow, deploy, and compound all simultaneously. Subscribe so you don't miss it. The full blueprint is at warchestprinciple.com. Strategic liquidity design, asset protection protocols, the complete institutional architecture. Designed for wealth builders with net worth between $3 million and $20 million. If you're still building in your own name, this is the exit.